In today's video, we're diving deep into a machine that's turning heads and rewriting what we thought possible in the world of off-road engineering, and the 2026 Mako 700. Whether you've heard of it in passing or you've been waiting for every tiny update, this review will walk you through everything you need to know about this absolute powerhouse, from its aggressive stance to the raw numbers that make it so special, and even what it feels like behind the handlebars. Stick around until the end because I'll also break down the pricing and share my final verdict on whether the new Mako 700 is worth your attention and your wallet. Let's start with the first thing you see, that striking exterior design. The Mako 700 commands attention the moment it appears, and it doesn't matter whether you catch it parked or blasting down a trail. At the front, you've got a bold and functional approach, a sharp, angular fender that seems to slice the air, and minimalist yet powerful LED headlights that ensure visibility without adding unnecessary weight. The handlebars are clean and purposeful, with hand guards that blend seamlessly into the overall silhouette. The front suspension looks solid and purposeful, giving you an instant sense of the brute strength that lies underneath. Move around to the side, and the profile tells an even more compelling story. The Mako 700's sculpted fuel tank and slim seat make it obvious that this bike is built to move aggressively, whether through sand, dirt, or rock-strewn trails. The lines are crisp, but not flashy, and everything feels like it's there for a reason. The massive engine cases peek out proudly, hinting at the raw displacement that makes this bike legendary. The side view also reveals the high-mounted exhaust system, adding a rugged touch while also giving practical clearance for rough terrain. The frame geometry is all about stability and power transfer, with just enough minimal plastics to protect vital components without adding bulk. From the back, the design stays faithful to its purpose-first philosophy. The rear fender extends just enough to keep mud in check, and the tail light, though compact, is bright and easily visible, keeping you safe during dusk rides. The Swingerman rear suspension setup looks seriously robust, telling you that Mako didn't cut corners on durability. The knobby rear tire looks almost oversized, gripping the earth with ferocious determination. Every angle of the Mako 700 speaks to its off-road DNA. Now, let's take a closer look at the interior and rider interface. The cockpit of the Mako 700 isn't cluttered with unnecessary tech. Instead, it gives you exactly what matters when riding off-road. The digital dash is clear and easy to read, giving you your speed, engine temp, trip meter, and essential warnings at a glance. The seat, though narrow for aggressive riding, is surprisingly comfortable during longer trail days, and the handlebars feel perfectly positioned for both seated and standing riding. The controls are intuitive, with the clutch and brake levers offering just the right resistance, while the foot pegs feel grippy and well-sized. It's a cockpit that makes you feel in control without overwhelming you with distractions. Then we get to the heart of this beast, performance. The Mako 700 isn't just about looking tough, and delivers an experience that's raw, visceral, and surprisingly manageable if you respect its power. Powered by a gigantic single-cylinder two-stroke engine displacing 685 cc, this bike is an absolute torque monster. The throttle response is immediate, and the sound, that signature two-stroke bar case, sends chills down your spine every time you twist the grip. The power band feels broad, with explosive low-end torque and a top-end rush that makes open trails feel like runways. Despite its raw numbers, the Mako 700 isn't impossible to ride. The suspension, chassis balance, and thoughtful ergonomics make it surprisingly tractable, even when pushing hard. On the trail, you feel the combination of brute force and engineered finesse. The suspension soaks up big hits, while still giving you feedback when you need to thread through rocks or roots. Cornering feels planted, and there's enough adjustability to dial in the setup to your style. The braking is firm and confidence-inspiring, giving you stopping power without abruptness. Whether climbing steep inclines, blasting through loose sand, or dropping into technical descents, the Mako 700 constantly reminds you why it has a cult following among off-road riders. As for the price, it reflects the bike's niche nature and specialized build. The Mako 700 isn't mass-produced, and that craftsmanship and exclusivity come at a cost. You're looking at an estimated starting price of around $14,000 to $16,000, depending on specific build options and local market adjustments. That might sound steep, but for enthusiasts who truly understand what this bike represents, a raw, two-stroke powerhouse unlike anything else on the market, it becomes less of a question of price and more a question of passion. So, after spending real time with the 2026 Mako 700, what's the takeaway? This isn't a bike for beginners, nor is it for riders who want modern riding aids or luxury finishes. It's for purists who crave an authentic, powerful, no-compromise machine. Every time you start it, every time you hear that engine come alive, you remember why two-strokes still have a place in the modern world. It's an experience that's hard to explain until you've lived it. And there you have it, an in-depth look at the 2026 Mako 700. From its raw, purposeful design to the monstrous performance hidden under that minimalist bodywork, This bike delivers a riding experience that feels both historic and fresh. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into bikes and cars that push the limits, and let me know in the comments, would you take on the trails with the Mako 700? Until next time, ride safe and keep the throttle twisted.